What's going on, guys? Chaseontwowheels here, and in front of me I've got the 2023 Moto Morini X-Cape 650. Now this is a new-ish member to the middleweight adventure market. It's got some Italian design and I am stoked. Look how cool this thing looks. All right, it's the first ride, guys. We got to see what it looks like and see what it sounds like. Stick around to the end of the video and let's see if this thing is a purchase or a pass. Speaking of sound, did you guys know you can get a discount on Cardo units if you use the code C2WCardo? Now you do. All right, guys, that's what it looks like, and that's what it sounds like. Now, this video is not sponsored, but it is supported by our website, wbrgarage.com, where we buy motorcycles, put some mods on them, and then we give them away back to our members. If you guys want a chance to win one of the motorcycles we're giving away this season, which is the 2023 CF Moto 450 SS and a 300 SS. That's right, we got two bikes we're giving away this season. If you guys want to get entries to win either of those motorcycles, all you have to do, go to wbrgarage.com, grab some merch, grab a membership. You'll automatically get entries, and at the end of the season, you might just have yourself a brand new motorcycle. Also, to you guys that are already members, you guys know we love you. Long time, you guys massively support us and the content that we make for you guys. Alrighty, guys, I appreciate you sitting through that. Let's get this first ride started. Now, Moto Morini, I'm pretty brand new to, but I've been looking at their product line, and they've got some really dope stuff coming out. I can't wait to check out what they're all about with this X-Cape 650. Let's get her going. We got a huge screen, man. Look at that. It's like an iPad mini screen. Very cool. I am noticing from the get-go, the foot pegs are sitting right where my legs want to go, and it's a bit taller of a seat. All right, so guys, I'm 5'10", got 32-inch inseam on my big old Revit boots. I got my ADV boots on today, and I can flat-foot it on the boots, but I will say the seat feels very wide, so I can only just flat-foot, and I really want to get my legs right where those pegs are, but unfortunately I cannot. That's our screen right here. Let's get her cranked up, see what she sounds like. Why do I always forget to put my phone on my quad lock? Somebody tell me. There we go. Alrighty, got a little 650 twin. Let's do this thing. Alrighty, guys, we do have ride modes. We have ride mode and we have off-road mode. This is a road-only course, so I will be keeping it in ride mode the entire time. So, effectively, we have no modes. And with all that being said, guys, I think we should get this thing started. Check our mirrors. Looks like we got kids learning to drive in this parking lot today. Also, if you're a fan of motorcycle content, we have a Discord full of people just like you. So, if you guys want to join a Discord full of motorcycle people, go check it out. Links in the description down below. It's totally free. Alrighty, Moto Morini, the X-Cape 650. I can't figure out if X-Cape is for E-Scape or what X-Cape comes from. I'm not really sure where they came up with that name. But regardless, we are escaping to do this first ride. I'm excited to see what this a very economically priced middleweight ADV bike, or ADV touring is what they call it, is going to bring to the table here. Alrighty guys, it is a first ride, so let's talk about the body position on this X-Cape 650. Pretty wide seat, very wide in the front. I do wish the front was a little thinner, and that way I could get my feet on the ground a little better. But as far as the seat, it's really comfortable actually. My back's very upright. My arms are a little taller than I kind of expected them to be on this bike. So I find my arms being up a little tall, but as far as my legs, they are only bent back a little bit. And overall, really comfortable body position. Very good for a touring bike because you are going to be in this body position for a while. So happy to see how comfortable this thing is. Here's an example of the thing I'm talking about on my feet. So also 33.3 inch seat height. So it is a taller bike. So, you know, if you're a shorter rider, just be ready. When I put my legs down exactly where I want to, look where they're at. They're on the outside of the pegs. I want my feet to be there because if they're forward, they don't really feel right, but that feels better. And I can put them behind the pegs, and that just doesn't feel good at all. So I end up putting my feet ahead of the pegs. A little strange. Not a huge fan. Also, like I told you guys, we have modes. I'm not going to be changing them, even though this is our red light where we typically change modes. Alrighty guys, let's talk about the city performance of the X-Cape 650. Power-wise, we do have that parallel twin in here. We do have all that black smoke. We do have that parallel twin in here, and that's going to be giving you guys 60 horsepower and I believe around 42.5 foot-pounds of torque, which are not terrible numbers. And in the city, it's a solid amount of power to be jumping around traffic or jumping from red light to red light, depending on what city you're in. I am noticing it doesn't have a ton of engine braking, so if you are one of those guys that likes engine braking a lot, this power plant's not going to be giving you that. And every time I say something about engine braking, there's always somebody in the comments.
Why use engine braking on an expensive engine part instead of braking with the brakes that are a cheap component?
And my response is, because I like to. I have no other reason. It is part of my enjoyment of my motorcycle experience, and thus means I will continue. With this engine being a parallel twin, I think it's not going to shock any of you guys to know we've got a lot of grunty power. And one of the interesting things about this power plant is that the power doesn't hit hard at any point. It's very linear, and at no point am I like, oh man, that's where all the power lies. It just gives you what seems like an even amount of power throughout the rev range that eventually peaks off when it gets a little high. So that's gonna make this bike really good as a, you know, starter bike or something like that, because you're gonna have no surprises throughout the power band. Now, as far as stability on the road, especially in city streets, it is a rather tall looking bike, and the weight does seem to be a little top heavy on this bike. When you start leaning the bike over, you can kind of feel that weight kind of tip with you. I will continue this conversation when that light turns green. So like I was saying, the weight on this bike is going to make it a little slow to fall or fly back and forth. This is not going to be one of those motorcycles you can just throw around really quickly. It's a little slow to move when you're wanting to change lanes. The tire sizes are also going to affect that as well. But when I got on it, it only weighs 514 pounds, but I did notice that it was a little lethargic when I wanted to get it thrown over. But let's try this turn. See how that feels. Let's choose a lane, people. Let's choose a lane. See right there, that's where I want that power to kick me somewhere. And it's just super smooth, and it's not really strong at any point. Now, there's pros and cons to that, and in that turn, felt the same thing. You know, I get it leaned over, and I almost feel like I've got a weight up here with me. And to be fair, as you guys can see, I do have a full gas tank right now. But when I lean over, it's a little slow, and then it just kind of like slowly makes its way there. So just keep that stuff in mind. Going back to the power on this 650, here's the things that are good and bad about it. For a new rider, a power band like this is probably going to be really nice because it's very expected. It won't surprise you anywhere. And for a new rider, especially if you've never ridden before, there's so many new things you're having to do to ride a motorcycle. Having a hit of power at no random spot is actually a really good thing. So if you're a new rider, definitely something to look into when you're looking at power on motorcycles. For a more experienced rider, I do think that can make the bike feel a little like lack of oomph. Makes you want to like, come on, let's go, let's go. And to me, it adds a little lack of excitement to the bike. So obviously that's personal preference. A lot of you guys might be out there and be like, no, I really like that predictable power and I prefer that in motorcycles that I buy. So yeah, that's it for city performance. A little lethargic in the turn in and a little lack of oomph on the power. I will say it is nice being upright on this bike. As you guys can see, we got big mirrors. I'm able to check traffic. I can do head checks very easily. So as far as a city bike, it's a safe contender. I'll put it that way. I've got my presence of me. I got enough power to do what I need to do, get around where I need to get around. All right, X-Cape 650, how is your power plant going to handle this big old highway? I am very curious. Alrighty guys, green light means go, and that means we have a job to do. I gotta see how fast the Moto Morini X-Cape 650 can go from 40 miles an hour to 80 miles an hour, thanks to our buddies over at Law Tigers. If you guys need a motorcycle lawyer, they are the guys to go with. Alright, we're gonna try this in a third gear situation. We're gonna back off a little bit, let the traffic get a little farther ahead. All right, oh God, on your mark, get set, go. No truck, no ruin. Oh no, the first ever 40 to 80 pull ruined by 2 men and a truck. Oh my gosh. A travesty in the motorcycle review space. Sad. All right, guys, we have no time for the 40 to 80 pull. We'll try to do that in a different spot where I can legally. I'm so sorry, people. All right, guys, we're here on the highway with the Moto Morini. I'm just gonna have to keep moving. X-Cape 650. So, we are in 6th gear, chilling with traffic. Right now, the wind's actually going over my head. I was worried about this windscreen because it's so thin, obviously. But honestly, it's going over my head. I'm not getting any bobbling. I am getting a lot of wind on my arms, but it's kind of warm today, so it feels pretty decent. Now, as far as on the highway, that kind of top-heavy and not really lethargicness, but that slow to move is actually kind of nice because it's really locking me in on the highway. And again, we've got a really windy day today, and I can feel the wind on my arms, but the bike is tracking incredibly well. And it's an adventuring bike, and it has cruise control. Oh my God, no, I did too many things. Back. All right, we got to set cruise control. It has cruise control, right? I could have swore it did. So unfortunately, I'm not seeing cruise control in the menus, which I wasn't sure if it did or not, but it looks like it doesn't. Okay, that's sad, obviously. You guys know I love cruise control. And on a touring motorcycle, it's kind of required if you're asking me. So, kind of sucks there. Here on the highway, power-wise, we've got enough power to stick with traffic. And as long as you're in 6th gear going around 70, it's not too bad. But one of the things I have noticed is if you rev this bike farther past about 5,500 to 6,000 RPMs, it starts getting really shaky, like super shaky. So that's not fantastic, but luckily on the highway going highway speeds with traffic, it's not shaking at all. I mean, tiny bit in the handlebars, tiny bit in the feet. Just don't rev the bike out and you should be fine. Overall, not a too bad showing for the Moto Morini X-Cape 650 on the highway. Now guys, I'm gonna finish up the highway, and while I do, let's get to a montage thanks to our buddies over at Cardo. If you guys are looking for a Bluetooth device for your helmet, there is nothing better. I literally could not ride without those things. And you guys can get a discount with code C2Dub Cardo in the description. There is a literal fire on the side of the highway. Okay. Thank you, Cardo, and thank you, Fire, for making it so I can barely breathe. Awesome. Alrighty, guys, that's it for the X-Cape. 650 on the highway. Not a terrible showing. It is a 650 after all, and it is at a budget price point of $8,000 or under or something like that. So, not too bad showing. Let's see what she feels like leaned over. She settles in really nice to a turn, actually, and with that adjustable suspension, so you can even tweak it if you wanted to. It actually feels a lot better in the turn than I expected. I'm not gonna lie. Getting some speed behind the turn, that was solid. I really kind of want to get back on the highway and do a damn 40 to 80 pull that doesn't get ruined, but it's not really in the cards right now. If we were on a faster bike, I would try to do the 40 to 80 pull here, but I don't know if I can get up to 80 before that next red light, and I would probably get a ticket since the speed limit is 45. We'll see what the situation is whenever we get the green, because I really want to give that to you guys. Yeah, this might be our spot. Damn it. I hate doing this. All right, we're going to try a 40 to 80 pull real quick, boys. I don't recommend this. I don't think you should. All right, 40 to 80 pull, sponsored by Law Tigers. Let's go. Please get there quickly. Please get there quickly. I don't want to take it. I don't want to take it. There it is. All right, Chris, give me that time so I can slow the hell down. All right, so now we have a backup 40 to 80 pull spot. I don't love that, but I think it could be helpful. Alrighty, guys, so let's talk about this parallel twin here. This parallel twin, it's giving me in the family of KLR, where it's not gonna be punch you in the face power. It's not gonna be like hold on for dear life. It's just gonna chug you along for freaking ever. And bikes like that tend to be very reliable, which is an awesome feature to have. Not all bikes have to be rip your face off powerful. Now, one of the things that's absolutely incredible on a bike that MSRPs for $8,000 or $7,000 is this suspension. We have fully adjustable suspension on this bike, and for that price point, it is nuts. Also, that BMW M2 looks kind of fucking sick. But yeah, so a bike that you're going to be doing touring on, you're going to be doing off-road riding on, I love having the adjustable suspension because you can really tune the bike to what you need to do. And so far, the suspension has been fantastic for me. The only thing I would change is right now when I get on my front brakes, there's a little bit of a quick dive. I don't know how to fix that, whether it be preload, compression, whatever. I'm not super familiar with the suspension changing, but that is one thing I would like to tune out of the bike as it is right now. Otherwise, it's freaking solid to me. Next up, let's talk about the transmission. Let's move down to the bike. I haven't had any problem with getting into the gears. The gears do seem to be a little short though. Like, I feel like I find myself shifting constantly. Shifting maybe more than I even need to. Come on, let's go. Let's go, BMW M2. Oh, we're not gonna do anything. Oh, now you get exciting. The shifting's not bad. I feel like the gearing's a little short, but one of the things I'm not a huge fan of the suspension or the transmission is that when I shift gears, I want a more tactile feel. I want to guarantee myself that I'm in the gear, and the shifting is a little soft to me, so I wish that was a little more tactile. Final thing we can talk about are the brakes, because it's got Brembos front and rear. And it will stop on a dime. Very solid. Honestly, I'm shocked to see Brembos on a motorcycle that MSRPs for what this X-Cape 650 does. I don't know how they put Brembos and adjustable suspension on a bike that costs this little, but whatever they're doing, dude, we're appreciative, because I am not going to complain if you're giving me top shelf brand for braking for a cost-effective price. Like, we as the consumer win on that one. Alrighty, guys, let's talk about the cluster up here and all of the controls. It's kind of weird if you look at the controls, because you notice it doesn't have a big red button for the start sequence. It has a little gray button there. Overall, the controls are laid out pretty well. I will say that I can notice a little bit of cost-effective going on with the controls. They all click, they all do their job appropriately. I would like a little more premium on the controls. I would like a little more click. But then again, I got to keep in mind that price point. And if I'm going to save some money on a bike, is it controls? Yeah, as long as they hold up. So if anybody in the comments has one of these and has put a lot of miles on them, let me know how the controls hold up. Because if the buttons hold up fine, then it is what it is. Okay, so let's talk about levers real quick. The levers are blacked out up here. They are nice. They don't wiggle that much. They do seem to be a little cost effective, but they're adjustable, so I can't really complain. Also, levers are super easy to swap out. They're very slick. I wish I could have some texture on them. I've been saying that on a lot of first rides. I appreciate the textured levers that companies are putting out. I got no real problems with the grips other than the fact that these are rotating. So they hold my hand well. I haven't had any issue with them. Wouldn't really complain if I owned the bike, so no issue there. Next up, we can talk about this TFT screen. Absolutely massive screen and very easy to navigate all the stuff on the screen. I will say the, what's the word, fidelity. It feels like it doesn't have a ton of pixels, and I wouldn't be mad if it could get a little brighter. I don't know what it looks like to you guys on the camera, but I would like it to get a little brighter. It does have a nice matte texture, and I have had no problems even when I'm backlit when the sun's behind me. Haven't had any problems seeing the screen as of yet. I will keep my eye on that because we are going to have this bike for about a month, I believe. And while we have it, I'll keep an eye on that screen and keep you guys updated. As far as the pedals, you know, the pedals being the shifters and stuff like that, solid move there. Don't have any issues there. I will say that one of the nice things is the foot pegs are relatively good sized. They have rubber inserts, but you can take those rubber inserts out and you can have just a metal peg if you're going to be doing off-road riding or something like that. So those are really cool to see. Love that. Also, if you guys notice, we have a little USB charger already installed on the bike. That's awesome. And this windscreen is adjustable. You just press this. I've had a problem doing this because I'm inept most of the time. And then we can press it down. All right, well, don't do that. Not the easiest screen to use. Not a huge fan of it. I would rather have some sort of other mechanism. You guys just saw how hard that was for me to get that. So I'm sure they can figure out some other easy way to get that screen. But it is cool that it's adjustable. So I do appreciate that. I'm trying to gauge everything with keeping in mind what the bike costs versus what you're getting out of it, because you do need to keep that in mind. So guys, I know y'all are looking at that awesome camera car footage. Thanks for our sponsors. If you guys want to support the channel, support the companies to support us, it is directly helping the channel. We really appreciate it, and that's how we're able to give you that awesome camera car footage. Now, I know y'all have been looking at that, but we're going to get off the bike up here, and we're going to do a little walk around and check this thing out. I do think this thing has some fantastic styling elements that I want to show you guys. Uh-oh, we got a couple cars. Let's see what's up. I'm coming into this parking lot all sketched out now after the 450 and after the 400 incident. We'll just call it that, and that's an Audi. Oh God. Oh jeez.
Check it out.
We don't like Audi SUVs on the channel anymore. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the first ride for the Triumph 400. You'll find out everything you need to know. Alrighty, guys. Let's get her turned around and do a little walk around. Wow. Alrighty, my friends. 2023 Moto Morini X-Cape 650. They've got a couple model colors for this. The gray ends up being really nice, and they also have a really cool red. So definitely check those out if you guys get an opportunity. So, very oddly shaped bike here, because you notice how low the seat comes down. But look how wide it is here where my legs are going to be going down. That's what's causing that wideness feel. Huge rear seat, very comfortable, and rear area. I love this for passengers because they have a good place to hold on to. And every time I'm a passenger, I always really appreciate those grab rails. All right, sorry. Here we go. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Oh my God. I love that we have this kind of low profile exhaust. Very nice there. It's not this some big, huge, gaudy thing. It's kind of just tucked up there, kind of out of the way. I do like this kind of patterning thing that they have on the side. And this one has a little bit of damage. That's not going to happen on a regular motorcycle, but this one's obviously used. So you guys keep that in mind. Chunky front tire, chunky rear. So that could be causing some of that slow to turn in feel that I'm feeling. Overall, looks-wise, I think this bike looks really unique, and I love the look of it. I love the difference you get in the front, because like a lot of ADV bikes can somehow look similar, like a lot of them look the same. I love that these don't. Now, one of the things that does worry me if I were to buy this motorcycle is those headers are so close, like right there, and there's nothing guarding that area. So I don't know if they offer some sort of like belly pan, but this bike definitely needs a belly pan, because if it's an ADV touring bike, it should be able to do light off-road, and it should be able to do great on the touring side. So it's like we need to cover those headers, and we need cruise control for really to get into that. It is nice. They do offer a lot of cool things with this bike, but I feel like we need a few more to just really finish it up. I mean, the fact that we have adjustable suspension is just night and day difference. It's crazy. We have Brembo brakes. Like, all of these things are nice. You guys are getting so close. Like, give us a skid plate down there. Give us the freaking cruise control. And I think this thing would be a lot better, personally. But guys, what I'm going to do right now is grab my phone off my Quad Lock. Shout out Quad Lock, one of those sponsors that you guys can help support the channel by supporting them. I'm going to grab my phone and I'm going to record some stuff for our TikTok and Instagram people. We are at C2WPics on Instagram, and we're at Chaseontwowheels on TikTok. I'm going to record some stuff for them, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, my friends, those videos are done. Boop. Alrighty, guys, those videos are done. Now, we got to figure out if this thing is a purchase or pass after a steering stem lock test. Alright, steering is all the way locked. Let's see how she does. Actually pretty solid. I'm going to give it a top 40 percentile. Alrighty, guys, the question we've all been asking ourselves: is the 2023 Moto Morini X-Cape 650 a purchase, or is it a pass? I just cannot get that. Like, I want it to make me excited. Come on! So guys, when it comes to purchase or passing on the Moto Morini X-Cape 650, I think I am going to have to go pass, but I'll tell you why, and I'll tell you why you might not have the same answer. So, one of the things that I just can't get past on this bike is the power plant and how I want it to be more oomphy. I want more power out of it, but keep this in mind, I'm an advanced rider. I've been riding for a long time, and I know exactly what I'm looking for the style of riding that I do. Apart from the power plant, this bike does a lot of things really well. It gives me modes so I can go off-road with it. It gives me a TFT dash. It gives me Brembo brakes. For God's sake, it gives me Marzocchi adjustable suspension. That is absolutely insane. But at the end of the day, for me, I want a power plant that gets me really amped up and excited. And the parallel twin inside of this thing is just not giving that to me. That being said, I'm pretty sure, if I understand correctly, you can get this bike for $7,000 brand new. So if you are a brand new rider and you think you might want to do touring, you might want to do some ADV and you're not really sure, this bike would be sick. If you've never ridden before and you don't have a very built throttle hand, and you know the intricacies of how to use a throttle, this bike would be fantastic because of the parallel twin that it has. It doesn't punch you at any point. You're not going to have a surprise anywhere because the power is so linear. So for a rider like that, it could be great. So just because I say it's a pass for me, I don't want you guys to think this is a bad bike. It's just not the type of bike that it would be right that I'm looking for. But I really think if you are in the space for getting started and you want an ADV bike, this bike could be fantastic. If you like the looks and if you like all these awesome features that it gives you, then definitely go see if you can do a test ride on one of these. Put some time in on it, and you never know. It could be the right bike for you. Also, at less than $8,000, I mean, dude, if you're looking into potentially trying ADV, like this thing might be perfect because the power's gonna be a lot more manageable, especially if you're new to off-road like I was, and getting out there for the first time might be great. Anyways, guys, that's all I've got on the Moto Morini X-Cape 650. Shout out to Moto Morini. They're letting us loan this bike for a month, so I will be making more content on it as we have it. If you guys want to see any specific videos from us, let us know in the comments down below, and we will do our best to get those videos made for you guys. And guys, I'm Chaseontwowheels. If you made it to this point in the video, you watched the whole thing. Massive shout out to you guys. You guys have no idea how helpful y'all watching to the end of the video is, and I really appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed this video, always remember to hit that like button, and if you got it to the end, you're in the outro crew. So put OC in your comment down below, and let us know, are you looking into getting into the ADV space? And if you are, does this bike have everything you're looking for in a beginner ADV? Let me know in the comments, guys. Would love to chat with you guys down there. You guys are awesome. Please ride safe out there. I'm Chaseontwowheels. I will see you on the next one. Later, guys.